Hi.
How are you?
Man, this is like such perfect timing because I had two consults and then a session that went amazing. And when I got off the phone, I literally gleefully yelled in my house, I love my job. So
Hey.
I'm like really on top of the world. It was just such like one of those like really powerful sessions where you're like, this is you like, oh, it was great.
The affirming, super affirming, where it's like, whoa.
Yeah. And like just beautiful to witness for the person. Like I was like, woof, like doing things, really doing things.
Yeah, that's pretty
Mhm.
amazing. Well done. That's awesome. I'm so stoked.
Thank you. Thank you. My confidence has gone up. I can't even tell you how much. I wasn't practicing, and now, just since when we started in June, I got like a solid base of people I work with. So many opportunities have unfolded. I'm confident in my approach. I've got structure. I think the number one thing that I learned that's been the most beneficial is how to take care of my own energy when doing this type of work for people.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
What was
it's
your
huge.
question? Did I answer it?
Yeah, that was great. Everything was.
Sometimes I tangent and I'm like, wait, did I answer the question?
I love your answers.
Thanks.
So what has it been like being able to take care of your own energy? How does that affect your life?
It's funny because sometimes I fall off of maintaining it and I notice I'm lethargic, tired. My chronic pain seems to like feel like it's surfacing a little bit. And then just with simple exercises that you taught, I just regain my energy. I feel alive. I feel vibrant. I feel ready to roll. I'm not nervous approaching sessions with people anymore. I'm excited. I don't feel this pressure, and I'm not carrying other people's stuff after the session, and I'm not carrying my own thoughts around what I could have done better. Right? I think I've learned to just kind of allow and let things go, which I did not do before working with you as a client or as someone apprenticing. Different stages of what taking care of myself looks like.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's powerful. It's such a big foundation and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and having a structured approach through different techniques that you've shown us for like a ritual of taking care of my energy, it has been life changing,
Hmm.
like absolutely life changing. Once I embraced walking that path, the opportunities that started to come, like I had a client from Holland. I've had clients that live in Hawaii. Like just the people that come when you embrace what you're here to do or like what you have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know we talked one time and it was around, I think, some like, I'm not good enough or I'm not enough or I'm too much. That idea of, how did you word it? You said something along the lines of like, everyone has their own individual medicine to offer. And if you don't offer it, then the people that need it aren't there they're not going to receive it.
Yeah.
And that was such like one motivation and two, like a bit of like a sense of purpose. Like I had now the idea that the people that need what I have to offer will show up in my mind, and then they did.
Yeah.
So
Amazing how beliefs work that way.
they really, really did. They showed up. So
I love that.
mhm.
Um, I love that. What do you think has been one of the biggest accomplishments in the last 6 months that you've been doing this work?
I think like putting myself out there was a huge accomplishment, and then having the clientele
Mhm.
come and stay and want to continue working with me, and to be able to officially state like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Like I work in mind body connection, and
Yeah.
like that's my modality of healing. And like I think it's an accomplishment in itself to be able to state that with confidence.
Love that.
I relied a lot on outside tools like psychedelics to get into those spaces and experience those things.
Hmm.
And I knew that I didn't need those tools to do it. So working with you taught me how to get there without those,
Yeah.
and how to do it with structure instead of just jumping into the space and seeing what happened, to go into it with intention.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That was my journey too. Psychedelics. And like, oh, how do I get myself back here? Anytime. How do I figure that out?
Here's
So
the
yeah.
door.
Yeah. No, it's there now. How do I reach that on my own
Yeah.
in a way that's grounded?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. So what would you say to someone who's considering taking this program?
Oh man. I couldn't recommend it higher. I think I've already recommended it to a bunch of people. um,
Thank you.
uh, I think one of the ways that I worded it was that like my knowledge, confidence, and strengths amplified
Mm,
so quick, like exponentially, but stably. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Like it was like a stable but exponential growth just in the last 6 months. My confidence in my toolkit have expanded like crazy.
I love that. Stage
Yeah,
exponential growth.
yeah, and the support you create within like that classroom setting too to work on what's coming up is brilliant. Like if that wasn't a part of it, it wouldn't have had the same growth. Like if
Yeah.
there wasn't that like personal support also happening within the learning.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's getting to have that self-healing as well as learning the
Yeah,
tools and doing
yeah,
it through the self-healing a lot of the time.
yeah. It's not just like I signed up for classes. It's
Yeah.
like I signed up for like community and learning.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
You have so
Thank you
many.
thank you for helping me embody them and empowering me or helping me find my empowerment.
Yeah.
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 Oh, we're talking about stuff. It's okay, right? Are you empowered? You just turned
Eric.
around and stared at me. So empowered. Yeah, like I, it's I don't know if it's like a limiting thing to say, but I don't think I would have done it without you. So I have so much gratitude for what you brought to my life simply by showing up in my fire pit.
Well, thank you for joining the sigil and energetically inviting me in. And I'm so grateful for what's unfolded, and I'm grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see what like the next 6 months has because it already feels like I've learned more. Like I thought that this kind of learning would take years.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of apprenticeship versus taking courses. It's kind of like I get to learn the tools that you found useful from what you learned.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm distilling down the 6 years of various things into a cohesive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a gift to
What's that?
it's such a gift to like have that distilled information.
How has it been for you having that sense of community?
It was I don't know what this year would have been like without it. Like I think it was really like integral to me dealing with just all the energy that's been happening in the world.
Yeah.
And like I said, I wouldn't be practicing and I wouldn't be doing the work with other people if I hadn't joined this. So I'm not sure what I wouldn't I don't even want to think about what would have been without it. It wouldn't I don't want that. I want to call that in.
Manifest, think about what you want, and you
Yeah,
already have what you want.
yeah, it's been um yeah, I don't know how to explain other than like I can't imagine life without it.
Yeah.
Like it's been a huge shift for me.
Wow.
Makes me emotional. Yeah.
No.
Hmm.
I'm so glad that we got to do this.
I know, me
And
too.
we get to do it for another 6 months.
I know. Just keep growing. Just keep growing.
It keeps on growing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Continuous unfolding.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like even just like through the course, when things have come up, like in my life, having that space to be emotionally like supported and held and for space to be made to really work through it on a deep level using the tools that we're learning to see just how powerful that they are,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like getting to go to different depths each time.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting too, and it prepared me a lot for working with people solo because um like I had experienced people having large emotional shifts and like being there to support them, but that was again all usually alongside psychedelics. So even in like the group work, when one of us would be going through something, being able to see how you held the space or how each other was holding the space, and even to just witness what it felt like to be in the presence of that kind of emotional release or that unfolding and that shift
Mhm.
was really important for preparing me to be in that space and to witness shifts in people I was working with.
Yeah.
I really have learned what being a healer means too, because I think that I did have a pressure on myself to really like perform and do healing, when really it's making that space for someone to come to their own healing.
Mm.
And that I learned a lot about that through being one of your clients, and then the awareness of what that meant got so much deeper through the apprenticeship so far.
Mm. I love that shift. It's like creating space for them to come to their own healing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
shows a lot of faith in their abilities, and it's very empowering. And it's a lot lighter for you to not feel like the one that has to carry them there.
Yeah, and it's just such a different approach from what I had experience with other healers. Since whenever I think about the way that you teach us to work, it reminds me of um we did like a ladder safety course at work one time, of like always having 3 points of contact, and
Mhm.
it feels like some of the other modalities were like 1 point of contact,
Right.
or like gripping to the, like, I don't know if that's an interesting analogy to use, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like it's that mind, body, soul,
Yeah.
those
Exactly.
3 points of contact. And I've watched folks that I've worked with, when I help them move into that embodiment, these shifts that they thought they couldn't make, once they've got those 3 points of contact, just come with ease.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of time they're surprised by how smooth it it unraveled itself once they
Yeah.
had those contacts.
Yeah. Oh, that's so well said. And that's such a good point. 'Cause it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
um, sometimes we can focus on one, but it's really integrating and embodying all three. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing all of this and for your time and for your heart and for your soul and for your gifts and being on this journey. It's been such a delight. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for everything you've done to assist me in getting to a point where I can embody all of those things.
Yeah.
Like, dang, you really, you, yeah, it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
I gotta say about this stuff is like it really was the thing that worked. So
yeah. And you tried a lot of things, it sounds like.
10 years of every kind of Western therapy, multiple different types of energy work, and this was the one that did it. And it's not to say that those other things didn't assist me in getting to a place,
Yeah.
but this stuff was the empowerment
Yeah.
puzzle piece, right? I as much as I like still, like, I think it's important for people to always feel like they can go to someone else and always have that community and like tribal experience of working with someone, especially when something's difficult. I just never before felt empowered to be able to maintain my own mental, spiritual, and physical health.
Mm.